Much, Corey. It is time for Chat Room, the talk behind the headlines. Rochelle Trotter is here, and sitting in with us today, Bela Gandhi. She's in for Susanna. Thanks. Welcome. Thanks for being here. We should say you're a relationship expert, founder of Smart Dating Academy. Speaking of relationships, there is a relationship that's in the news. A lot of news organizations, us included, Fox 32, have been reporting about the moving vans that have pulled up outside former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr.'s home and his wife Sandy's home as well. Well, here's what everyone's reporting. They're saying that the moving vans are moving his stuff into the home from D.C. and her stuff out of the home to D.C., the two homes that they have. Now, let's talk about this. A lot of speculation is happening around this relationship. And I have to say, let's just be human for a second. When you start talking about the pressure of being in the spotlight and the pressure it puts on relationship, they will both pay the price for the crimes that they have committed. Sandy Jackson for filing false tax returns, him for misuse of campaign funds. But let's talk about the human side of this and the pressure being in the spotlight right now as speculation abounds. Bela, you're a relationship expert. I mean, what do you see when you see this situation? What do you think?
I think any problem that you face at home, when you've got the public eye on you, it is only going to escalate all of the emotions that you're feeling. It's never a good thing.
Yeah, and this couple, I know someone that knows Sandy really well, and I actually put in a call to her yesterday, and she said that Sandy won't even talk about it. And so, you know, my heart breaks because their very private moment is just being publicized. And I believe in healing of relationships, and we all knew that when this came out, there was a possibility that something was going to happen in their relationship. But now with all of the public, you know, attention being paid to it, I feel for their children, and I feel for their ability to even try and reconcile at a normal level because of all of the pressure and the attention that's being put on it. But it was telling that she wouldn't even talk to one of her best friends about it.
And you can understand that. Bela,
Yes.
I want to ask you, because you talk with couples all the time. You know, you're trying to bring people together. You're a dating academy. I mean, it seems like when you have a pressure, an overwhelming pressure in your life, the immense amount of friction that can cause in a relationship is probably really huge.
It's honestly, external pressures can be very hard to overcome. And external pressures, I mean, something like what the Jacksons are going through, death of a child, any large traumas can definitely cause a schism and an ending to even the strongest of relationships.
And we've seen that so many times.
Yeah.
Let's also talk, okay, you guys hear about this? We're going to see zombies are all over Chicago. Did you see any zombies on your way over?
They were out today.
She got a tweet.
I got a tweet. They're out at State and Madison.
Okay, so they're all over the out platforms and stuff. And this is like an energy drink promotion. It's a local energy drink company called Selixer. They're in Evanston. They're based there. And their energy drinks are so all over the news right now, not for a good reason, not for a fun reason, but for the fact that they're a health concern. Here again, another marketing campaign aimed at young people, right? I mean, of course it is. And they're out on the streets with these zombie drinks. You know, what do you think about it?
You want to?
No, I actually think it's funny because, I mean, with marketing today, you have to be breakthrough. And to have these people walking around like zombies will gain awareness. Like Bela said, she was getting Twitter messages this morning. They're at State and Lake, so they're already all out. So the company is being effective in getting the awareness up. It just needs to be balanced with all of the facts that we're learning about how these energy drinks are not so healthy because of the amount of caffeine and everything for our youth. So that has to be balanced. But as a person who used to do marketing, I think the campaign
it's great. Everyone's
hilarious.
saying it's kind of a brilliant thing. It's called The Working Dead, kind of a play off of the very popular AMC show, The Walking Dead. Because they're saying you may go to work and you may feel like a zombie and this will wake you up. It does seem like a brilliant marketing strategy, and it's going to get a lot of attention. That's for sure.
And if it brings more success to it, and the company and the products are actually good for us, it could bring more jobs into the city. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, as long as there isn't an over caffeination.
That's right.
Over sugarification.
We've talked so much about that. We also want to talk. Okay, this is such a fascinating topic to me. The former South Carolina governor, Mark Sanford. Okay, he stepped down. Remember that whole scandal? He was in Appalachia hiking, but no, he really wasn't. He was with his mistress, his Argentine. He was hiking.
He was hiking,
but
all right.
nobody could find him.
He was hiking her skirt. That's what he was hiking, right?
Rochelle! Anyway, let's talk about this because I think the larger issue here is more fascinating. Okay, so he went out of politics for a while. Now he wants to come back and reclaim his old House seat. She's no longer the mistress. She's the fiance now. But do voters not even care about this kind of stuff anymore? Can you have a mistress? Can you do whatever you want? Remember the President Bill Clinton days when the whole country was just like gripped by scandal that he had a mistress? Now does that even matter?
I mean, Bill Clinton was elected the first time with full knowledge that he had had an affair with Jennifer Flowers. I think people care. If you ask most people in the beginning, do you think affairs are right or wrong? They're going to say they're wrong, but their actions speak louder than their words.
But isn't it a character issue? I mean, should we consider it in that light?
It is a character issue, and I do think that people care. And I think the Republicans, who are in so much trouble right now as a party with women, I don't think this is the face that they want to put on the Republican brand right now, as the Republicans are trying to rebuild their position with women. This man had an out-and-out affair, okay? He lied to his family. That's a core character default, in my opinion. And when you're in the public light, you're held to a higher standard, quite frankly. And last but not least, if you look at the pictures that are being publicized with him, with her by his side, his son is standing behind him, and he looks devastated. That son's face speaks mountains to what I believe the damage is that he's done to his family.
Well, there's family pressure, but he also did lie to the people because everyone was wondering where their governor was, and then he said, we can't reach him, we have no idea where he is, and then
he left his people hanging for 6 days.
Now, let me ask you something else, though, Bella and Rochelle. Do you think, I was trying to think myself, is there a woman who's been in this situation, somebody in public office who had an affair, who was either thrown out or embraced? Can you think of one? I honestly couldn't.
I can't think of one.
I honestly
But I bet I
could
could
not.
go on the internet and find one.
Yeah,
the internet, everything is on the internet, right?
I think the standards would be very different.
Well,
for
that's
a
the
woman.
question, isn't it?
Yeah. And I don't think a woman could make a comeback from that.
No,
or I think it would be a lot harder.
Why not? Why couldn't a woman come back from it? We've seen so many men come back from this.
I think it's just the way our society is set up right now.
It's a double standard.
It's a double standard.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. A man made a mistake. Let me come on TV and apologize and then move on with my life. A woman makes a mistake. It's like back in the old Bible days. They would stone the woman when they found out she was having the affair, and nothing would happen to the man. Come on, it takes two to tango.
That's what men do.
So wrong.
That's what men do.
Right.
It's interesting. Okay, so we want to talk, speaking of, this is sort of feminist talk, I think. Beyonce distancing herself entirely from that whole feminist label. She's one of yet another young stars to do that, one of many who have done this. They asked her in British Vogue, hey, are you a feminist? And she said, that word's too extreme for me. I wouldn't use that. Maybe a modern day feminist. Leading and then following it up by saying, I believe in equality. Well, what, the old-fashioned feminists don't believe in equality?
Right,
Why is there this distancing yourself from that term? We saw Katy Perry do it as well. She says, I'm not a feminist.
Right.
It's a dirty word.
People, I think, still have the old-fashioned view of a feminist being a woman with a short haircut, and she's all about man hate. And I think so from that perspective, a lot of people think this is too extreme. I don't want to be associated with that. My question is, what is the definition of a modern-day feminist? Isn't a feminist someone who believes in equality socially, economically, politically, financially, and every other way for a woman, and you're doing something to pursue those rights for women? I don't know what Beyonce is doing to promote anything like that. However, if she defines modern day feminism perhaps as she's still making her own money and things like that, and maybe that's how she defines it. I don't know.
We're going to go to the break, you guys. We're going to be right back with Bella, Rochelle, more of the chat room to come. Mark Cuban, okay, do you hear this? He says he wants to draft a female star into the NBA. Is the NBA ready for a woman? She's 6'8". She seems athletically gifted beyond all belief, but is the NBA ready for her? Another question.